Well, Marnie McBean is well known and well loved among Canadians. A rower, she is a three-time Olympic gold medalist. She was Canada's chef de mission at the Tokyo 2020 Games. She's also an officer of the Order of Canada and is well known for her social justice work. But Marnie McBean is not stopping there, sworn in last week as a senator for Ontario.
I, Marnie McBean, do solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to His Majesty King Charles III.
Well, joining us is Olympian, now Senator Marnie McBean. Marnie, Senator, nice to see you again.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, you know, so much to talk about, and I want to begin with what made you apply, because that's how you became senator. Mm-hmm. You decided this is something I wanted to pursue. What made you actually do that?
Well, you know, I've had this journey from the first medals that I won in serving Canadians, actually. Like, I came back and how I would show them would be going into hospital environments or having to figure out what my time was going to be. And like 20 years ago, I said I really cared about the health and activity of Canada's youth. So I've been speaking and now in the hindsight mirror, like, I've been serving for a long time. And so I progressed serving mostly athletes in all sports, but also on different boards. And I got to a point coming into that point where I was chef de mission for Team Canada back in 2019, thinking I'd be finished in 2020. And it was a little bit of like, what do I want to do next? Mm-hmm. And the opportunities I was looking at actually were citizenship judge and the Senate. And I thought these are both opportunities where I would get to have wonderful conversations, welcoming new ideas and streams to Canadians. And so I applied. And it took a while for the application. Like, I applied in 2019. A pandemic happened. I thought, well, this is never going to happen. And then the Prime Minister called me up and said, did you really mean it? And I was like, I did, and I do, and here I am.
Did you answer what took you so long?
A little bit. It was jokingly. I asked about the holding tank that I'd been put into, and we just left.
Oh, okay. So what was that like then? Because as you say, you were waiting for a time, and here you are. And, you know, not to brag for you, but you were involved in charities like Covenant House, as you said, doing hospital work, working for Kids Helpline,
yep.
Volunteering for Canadian youth. So you finally get this phone call, basically telling you you're going to get to serve as you wanted to serve. How did that feel?
I kind of think it's a little bit like, I don't know how to feel it. It's like asking, you know, they're very different. But when I was first asked about what does it feel like to be an Olympic champion, you don't know. Like, it actually takes 10, 20 years to look back on that moment and see how it changed your life. Mm-hmm. And so now I'm just exploring it now. And I find, honestly, like many Canadians, I know that the Senate is this important part of our government. And I had done my research when I applied for it. And I asked my family if they were keen on me making this commitment. But there's an element that I was still very naive about it. So I'm still learning what it's going to mean and what the impact is. But I'll tell you, I've been doing it this is my 5th day now. Mm-hmm. But the opportunities and the conversations that I'm sitting in that are so meaningful. And, you know, we have experts come into us and tell us what they are, like, so knowledgeable about and passionate about, and then we get to ask questions, and we have these wonderful conversations about what is in the best interests of Canadians. So I kind of think, I don't know how I'm going to feel about this for 10 or 19 years, which is my expiry date here. But you know what? I just feel really lucky that I have this opportunity to listen into these conversations and contribute, and to bring the tool belt of experiences that I've had, which is way more than just sport, but mm-hmm. is also about people and teamwork. You know, the thing I talked about for the last 3 years so much was the health and safety of not just Team Canada, but of Canadians. And so now I'm in a part of where we get to discuss and amend and make sure that legislation is in the best interest of all Canadians.
So, as you say, an opportunity, and really an opportunity that few Canadians are extended. So what issues do you want to champion when you're in the upper chamber? What do you see yourself working on, particularly that would appeal to you?
A little bit. I feel like I've showed up at some sort of educational, like a university, and right now I get to step in on, like I was in an agriculture meeting today, and I've been in social issues meetings yesterday. I'm not going to stray far from the fact that I have always cared about the health, safety, and activity of Canada's youth. That's always going to remain really important to me, but as does the environment, as does including more Canadians. These are things that I've learned to mature in, and making sure that the 2S LGBT community is represented and that every Canadian gets to come to a conversation and bring their authentic voice. And when you say it's a rare opportunity, all I had to do was apply, right? There's the application to become a Canadian senator is available to everybody. And the process, it might take a while, as I found out, but the process goes through an independent body right now. So there is an opportunity, and if you look at the Senate, it is wonderfully diverse in there. And I think it is an opportunity for all Canadians to feel that they have a little skin in the game on these conversations.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask a little bit of a personal question here, because, you're Marnie McBean, Olympian, Canadian hero, someone, Canadians all applaud, regardless of political stripe. But now you walk into an arena where public criticism is part and parcel of the game. Are you prepared for that? Are you worried about that?
I am prepared for it, and maybe I should be worried about it. But from the moment that the Governor General signed me in, I had a live email address. Right, you can access it through the Senate website. And I've been getting hundreds of emails from Canadians who support different bills. So they want us to support a bill or not support a bill. But there's some emails that come through that are not so friendly. I'm not a fan of those, but I love that they come to and I see them, right? This is Canada, and this is what Canadians think about the Senate. Hopefully we can communicate to them. That's another thing I'd like to do is, I know as I talk to my friends about what senators do, they're like, really? Like, that's super cool. Like, I want to help educate Canadians into the good work that the Senate is doing now and how different it is from, like, the rubber stamp Senate before 2015. Like, this is stuff, I know what I learned in school, and I know how it's working now. But I think that Canadians are allowed to have mixed voice. That's the whole thing. Like, we had a committee of the whole, which is just a really big committee, talking about things, and it was diverse opinions on it, right? And we welcome that. Like, that's the whole point, is that we hear the people who are for things and we listen, not just wait till they're finished talking, but we listen to the people who are against things.
Well, hopefully you and I will be speaking, and I'll be listening more from you in the years to come. But for now, Marnie McBean, Senator Marnie McBean, thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Yeah.